Hi, I'm not Xavier, but right now I feel like I am hitting every bit of sun that he hits regularly when he's filming. Welcome to Taco Bonsai. I'm going to be repotting today. This, right here, the cherry. So it's actually got decent roots, which is why I'm okay with repotting it now. I'm going to put it into it's forever pot, I hope. So that's what's coming up. Let me real quick address the demon in the room. Nina, inside. Both of you inside. Yeah, inside. You're not allowed out. Stop. All right. Ooh, you can tell she's a little bit cranky. So we're gonna get right in here. Sorry for the really great lighting, but this guy, it hasn't been in here terribly long, but it's time. All these roots are in need of a real trim. I didn't trim them when I repotted it last, so as you can tell, it's actually in pretty good shape as far as root ball. And there were roots coming out the bottom, yes. So this would be good to be reused for another tree. Meantime, I'm going to work on getting some of this out. Still good soil. Look at all these little fine feeder roots. This is great. I'll be excited to get this into a different container. Into hopefully its forever home. Ooh. First, I got to get all this soil off, which I did water it today, which may have been a mistake, but at least it is all decent bonsai soil. So it is my hope that I can get it, out of here, get a little bit of root pruning done, and get it into that pot. So I'm hitting a big root right here already, which I anticipated. But other than that, most of my roots are in towards the center. Now I do need to evaluate this. It may not be able to go into the pot I want to put it in, but at least I'm going to take a look and see what I can do. So this is flushed out from being virtually defoliated. I think I might have actually defoliated. I can't recall. But I cut a lot of the limbs off and down to work on my primary branching. That's going well, you can tell. But yeah, I'm gonna get in here and see how this thing's doing. So I hadn't used real. Yes, you can all, well, so you can see all the roots in there. This is what I'd used before. It's no good. Got real mesh in this new pot. Ooh. I'm really pleased with this. Got some bigger roots that need to be cut back, but other than that, it's really in good shape. So I'm going to start with this big root right here. Come in, first cut it short. See, a lot of my roots weren't, doing what needed to be done as far as their actual, rooting farther up. I think I'd really just kind of dump this thing in there. A big root here. Love to take all of it off. Ooh. That was really right near the center. And there's one in here. Look at me, I'm just dropping stuff all over the place. There's one right here. It's kind of coming from the center. So let's see if I can't get in here. Yeah, this right here. It's got to come off. And off it comes. More in here, we've got these. They've got to come off. All right. So what's nice about this process so far, so although I'm getting a lot of roots off, I still have a lot of roots left, which is exactly what I want. Still got more in the center here that's got to come out. Namely this one. Ooh. This one here is coming back under. Take these back a little further. So, yeah, still a whole lot of roots in here that I can use. And that was always the goal, was to take it in stages and not destroy the tree in the process of trying to get good roots, which I hope I didn't do. No. Take this one out here. So already it's starting to look more like a real, bonsai root mass. Some of these do come down really far. So I'm going to address those. In fact, this one comes underneath. That one should probably come off altogether. You guys can see here. This one, oof. Gotta come off. This one coming down pretty far, so we're gonna take that off as well. I do like this one up here. Some of these are just fine. Some in here that are kind of coming straight down, but they're smaller, which is good. Oof. This one's crossing over the bottom. Don't want that. Ooh. And, although this tree is relatively early in development, it is got what I considered, one of my trees at least, a great nabari. It's ready to go into a pot where it can slow down its growth a little bit. All this can be trimmed back. And that's really exciting for me. Really hope this is how it's going to go. Yeah. I would say that looks pretty great. So these up here are kind of high. It does come down. Well, no, it doesn't. It just kind of sticks up. So I'm going to take it off to here. This one too. Off a little farther up. All the way back on that one. And I think that's all I can really do with that. This one's alive. It's a good live root. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Not super, super radial. Not bad. This does come up. So I'm going to cut it short here. Doesn't come up. This one too does kind of come up. Yeah, that one's no good. So it's going to come out. These are coming up here. Take those out. And it's pointed up. It's got to come out. And we're looking pretty good. Is it perfect? No. But is it interesting? Absolutely. I think this is a great nabari. So, more roots coming up. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Now it's time to show you all, right after I get some of this in the trash, because I'm going to reuse some of this. This was the pot I chose for it. And I think it'll fit really, really nicely. I'm going to take back some of these longer roots. Of course, I think it was Nigel Saunders who said you absolutely have to do root pruning to get a nice radial root base. So that's what I'm doing. And again, I've still got lots and lots of very fine roots. This one's coming from down below, but it's not in the way of, yeah, lots and lots of fine feeder roots. As you noticed, at least on this one, but on several of my last repots, there hasn't been a whole lot of growing roots. This is like that one moment during the summer, spring, where the roots aren't really growing. That's a really nice benefit to this time of year. I didn't bring pliers with me, but that's okay. Do a little bit of, twisting the old-fashioned way, I guess. Just trying to remember how I decided to do this. I think I had to do it this way. To really get it, buckled in. I prefer not to wire in, but in cases such as this and current war with the birds, I think I'd be well advised to make sure I've got this thing as stable as I possibly can. I'm going to try to let my water creep down. Do this the Millie's bonsai way. And just crank it by hand. He's a really remarkable individual. I watch some of these channels and I see guys using really cool tools. I'm like, oh, I wanted some of those tools. And then he's just like, yeah, man, I twist up the wire by hand. That's what we do, you know. Oh yeah, I was just breaking up bricks to make soil. He absolutely does a great job with whatever he's got. And he doesn't ever act like he's missing something. So this will be really cool. I'm going to need to trim up that wire. First, I'm going to get some of the soil in here. I'm going to reuse some of the soil that was in. It is really, really good soil. And I'll have to trim up all these tie downs and tighten them the rest of the way. Make sure I get this pointed the right way. There's a lot of underneath here for me to just push all the soil into. This is a quite remarkable little specimen. I don't know if you can see, but really, as much as I push in, it's all just going underneath, which is good. It's really good. There we go. Now we're gonna. Now it's densely packed in there. But this side, of course, I still have some that needs to go under. Come back in and keep on. Sorry, as St. Tom says, fire it on in there. And my roots barely might go to the edge of this pot, but I don't think they really get close enough for it to be a concern. They're at least a centimeter, I should say 8 millimeters away from the actual walls of the pot, so they will have room to grow. All right, so now that we're in here, a lot of these branches have started to lignify. You can see they're branching out a bit too, so we're going to go ahead and give it a little, you know, two-shape prune. It's coming straight up, don't want that. It's going to come out. Just had a couple leaves on it anyways. So I'd like it to kind of come out. So I just took off there. Over here, again, I want it to come out, so I'm going to down, flare out to that side. Over here. That's the next one there. It's already started down below too. Up top in the sort of apex here, I'm going to leave it pretty long. Just take off the very top growing tips there. Coming around. Now you guys can't see very well, sorry. Oof. Coming around, we got this branch here. I'm gonna make it coming kind of out. One next to it, same sort of thing. Try to get it coming out. Got these two here. One's coming from the base. Again, it's just, you know, 2 from 1. I'm gonna take this one back a little bit. This one back above that. Then we just got this one left, which is growing towards the center of the tree. I don't want that. The whole thing's gonna go. All right, we have this one here that is crossing over. Doesn't seem to have a good place for me to put it. So I'm gonna take that off there. And I think that's as pruned up as this one needs to be. So let's work on visibility and noise, of course. This is our pot. Beautiful, dark colored, somewhat green pot. It's our purple sands cherry. I am going to do again what St. Tom says. I'm going to give it a little spray. Let it soak in. And I'm going to water it in on this right here. after I grab, ooh, sorry, trying not to destroy everything here, but I am terrible with whatever you call this thing. Water here. Really like watering in on this terracotta saucer, I guess you would call it, tray. Turn it. Oh. Keep going. I'm okay with some of this stuff floating away. Stuff that's floating away is not necessary stuff usually. It's going to come off in the rain anyways, so if I just keep dumping and dumping, helps take off some of that organic soil. I get left with a whole lot of really nice and organic bonsai soil. This pine bark, I don't mind it, but it really does just float away eventually. So a lot of that is now off, is out. And we have ourselves a very, very well watered in, much more compact purple sands cherry. So, ooh, there we go. I don't have my turntable to give you guys a 360. Of course, I'm using that to hold other plants. So I will give you a pot 360 and then a whole picture. So I'm really pleased with this. It did exactly what I needed to do. Got to trim back this wire, but honestly, this is a huge success. It was ready to go into this size and shape container. This branch is alive right here, although it doesn't look like it. So all this is going to hopefully grow in, and then I'm not gonna. This is going to be hands off for the rest of the year. I will fertilize it, and that is all I'm going to do to it. It is just going to hang out and start working towards being an excellent, tree in development. Yes, I know I should probably keep it in a larger container, but really I've got my branching mostly done, my primary branching. The wounds that are going to heal, I'm not worried about them healing quickly. I'm okay with them taking their time. This will look really good. So that is the first of several midsummer repots. That's all for today. Take care of yourself, folks. Cheers.